Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rock Squad podcast, your destination for the latest in rock music news, reviews, and discussion. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Nick Chino. I'm joined by my co-host and bandmate, Dave Marini. What's up, Dave?
Hey, Nick. How's it going, pal? Hello, everybody. Before we get going today, make sure you drop down to the bottom of this video and you subscribe to our channel. You like this video, you write a comment, you get in touch with us. Lots of things in the news today. Kind of a somber day.
Yes, very much so.
Turn out, it started as a nice day and kind of ended on a shitty note.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world of rock, Nick?
Well, unfortunately, Dusty Hill, the longtime bass player of ZZ Top, passed away at the age of 72. The band confirmed it on social media today that he passed away. And there's been an outpouring of grief over the loss of an incredible bass player, incredible musician, and from all accounts, a really, really great guy. I think we talked a little bit about ZZ Top on the show before, Dave, that we're both big ZZ Top fans. We enjoy their music immensely. And this is just a really sad loss. When you think about ZZ Top, it's one of the best trios of all time. You're a bass player. Dusty Hill's a bass player. They had the tightest sound of any three-piece ever, and he was an integral part of that. So it's just really sad news.
Yeah, it's super sad news, man. Unfortunately, I was planning on going to see ZZ Top for the first time.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah,
we were talking about that. So yeah, it's very shitty news on that front. But yeah, Dusty was an amazing player, and the ZZ Top, like the longest reigning American band. They've been the same three guys for over 50 years. Like 50 years, that's longer than the Stones. It's longer than everybody. So he'll be missed, man. It's very sad. Yeah, legend. He's a legend.
Legend.
One of the goats on the low end.
How are they going to fill that spot? They're going to continue, I imagine. I have a hard time thinking that the other two guys won't keep going.
ZZ Top?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
They don't know how to stop, though. Top don't stop.
You gotta be badass, and you need the beard. Come on.
Yeah, I know. It's a tall order, that's for sure. Yeah. To be badass and also have a beard of that magnitude is it's an incredible feat for sure. But
I'm sure Billy will do something though. Billy's fantastic. He'll go out with the Billy Gibbons All-Star Band or something.
Yeah, he'll keep it going for sure. So
very sad.
Dusty. Yeah, Dusty Hill, rest in peace. He passed away at the age of 72. An incredible career, incredible life, and he got to spend his life playing music. So I think it's a good way to do it. So rest in peace to Dusty Hill. But a couple other things that we want to talk about just off the top here. Dave, you were telling me that you have an idea. You have a new series that you want to bring to the Rock Squad channel. Do you want to tell the folks about this?
We're talking about the top 10, Nick.
The top.
We're going around the world. We're getting the best rock songs from around the globe, and we're hitting people with it every week, every Friday. There will be a new top 10. The Rock Squad top 10 from around the world. I'm very excited about it, getting some things in order, but it's going to be a good time. Are you excited for the top 10?
I'm very excited for it. Yeah, I'm excited for some new stuff for our rising YouTube viewers to watch. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. I've been doing the rock album reviews. You're going to be doing the top 10. I feel like we're bringing some quality stuff to the Rock Squad community.
Well, you're not going to just get, your random top 3 or top 4. You're going to get the top bands from around the world, the top rock bands from around the world. And every once in a while, we're gonna make an executive decision and move a band that we're like, why is this band at 49? This band needs to be in the top 10. And we're gonna make an executive decision and slide it in there. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited to expose people to bands they may have never heard of, or bands that don't get their fair shake. But lots of new music, man. So it should be very good.
Yeah, we're super exciting. So we'll be looking out for the Rock Squad top 10 coming from Mr. Dave Marini very, very soon. Before we get to the opening act topics, there was a big album anniversary this week, courtesy of the Smashing Pumpkins. Their sophomore record, Siamese Dream, celebrated its anniversary this week. And we previously talked on the show, Dave, about Smashing Pumpkins. We're both huge fans. Siamese Dream was a seminal album for both of us in our musical development and our music fandom over the years. When it comes to Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream really set the tone for who the Pumpkins would be and what they would do going forward. They worked with Butch Vig, of course, once again on Siamese Dream, like they did on Gish. And when you think about Gish, it's a great record, but it doesn't really have those catchy melodies that Siamese Dream would bring to the Pumpkins fold. And Billy Corgan himself has said that that was the record that really kind of set the Pumpkins on their path, and him as a songwriter as well. So what do you feel about Siamese Dream? You got, Cherub Rock, Today, Hummer, Quiet, Rocket, Mayonnaise, Geek USA, so many great songs.
You called it, pal, man. It's one of the best albums of that time. It's some of the tones on there, like listening to like Billy talk about like making that record and like how much work went into the guitar tone and just just the songs themselves, like it went
Big
on.
Muff.
Yeah, like big muffs and like tuning a half cent down and stacking guitars left and right, balancing it weird. There's so much cool stuff about that record, and it's influential to me for sure. I remember listening to it at a friend's on the floor in his basement with like just like putting it in and like and it was just like it would blow us away. We'd be like, wow, and you hear that for Cherub Rock and you hear the drum boom, and it's like, I don't know, it's awesome to me. It's super nostalgic. I went to go see them last time they were in town with Noel Gallagher. I'm a huge Pumpkins fan, man. They can't do wrong in my books.
Yeah. First gig I ever played before you joined Neoprene, the first gig we ever played out here on the court. First song was Cherub Rock. So just goes to show you
it was still in the mix when I came into the band.
Yeah, we played it a bunch when you joined the band. So yeah, for sure. So happy anniversary to Siamese Dream. We still love you. It's still amazing. Let's get to this week's opening act topics on the Rock Squad podcast. Some hot topics in the world of rock music news. Actually, we're going to start this one off on a somber note as well after we talked about Dusty Hill. Another famous musician passed away this week. Founding Slipknot drummer Joey Jordison passed away suddenly at the age of 46. His family announced the news yesterday. He was from the band from Slipknot's inception in 1995 until 2013. He was a major member of the band. From what I read, he had a medical condition that affected his ability to walk and his ability to play drums, but he was kind of getting over it in the last couple of years. So I'm not sure if this is related to that medical condition, but there's been this huge outpouring of support in the metal community, and obviously from the other members of Slipknot. I wouldn't say I'm a huge Slipknot fan, but I'm a fan of some of their stuff. I, obviously love Corey Taylor as a vocalist. When it comes to the theatricality of bands, I don't think anybody does it better than Slipknot with those very, very frightening masks that they like to don all the time. And I wouldn't say I'm a huge Slipknot fan, but this is really sad news because as far as huge metal bands of the last 20 years go, the most influential metal bands of the last 20 years, Slipknot would definitely be high on that list.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's very sad to hear that Joey passed away. It really makes you think about all those opportunities again, right? Like I've never seen Slipknot, but I'm not a huge Slipknot fan, but I liked the Iowa and I liked a few of their singles through the years. Man, it's very sad. He's like 40. How old was he? 42?
46.
46 years old, man. He's a baby. He's a young pup. But live fast, die young, and that's kind of the game we're in sometimes. So it's super sad, and obviously condolences to his family. And that's too bad. It sounded like he was kind of on his way back into the mix too. So what are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, really, really sad news. Well, it's inspired me maybe to go dig a little bit more into Slipknot's catalog. The benefit of having streaming services is that you can at your own whim dig into any band's discography. I've always liked Left Behind, which I think is from the Iowa record. That's a good one. I like Wait and Bleed, obviously.
His drumming is phenomenal.
It's great, and it's very primal. It's very primal when you listen to Slipknot, at least their early stuff. I'm not really super familiar with their stuff over the last 10 or 15 years, which is showing the gaps in my metal listening. But it's very, very sad news. So I think I'm going to go back, maybe listen to Iowa, maybe listen to the first record and just appreciate what Joey Jordison brought to the metal scene over the last decades.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So rest in peace to Jory Jordison. We're going to get to the next topic on the Rock Squad podcast. We're going back to the Smashing Pumpkins. We just talked about them with Siamese Dream, but this one's really cool. They're putting out another archival release called Live at the Viper Room in 1998. This one was recorded in LA at the Viper Room in January of 1998. It's mostly a Billy Corgan acoustic show where he played a lot of songs from the Adore record before it was released. So this is actually a follow-up to the Live in Japan 1992 LP that they put out earlier this year. What do you think of this release, Dave? Are you excited for this? How do you rank Adore among Pumpkins albums? Because it ranks pretty high for me, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a killer record, and I'm a goof, and I love the dark themed Pumpkins. Like I know Billy Corgan's a huge wrestling fan and stuff, so
Yeah,
I appreciate all the theatrics that he put into that era of Pumpkins. That's for
yeah.
sure. So yeah, man, it's killer, and I'm not a huge acoustic Pumpkins fan, to be honest with
Really?
you. Yeah, I'm not like there's a few songs that are okay, but I'm not a huge fan of the acoustic
Yeah.
Pumpkins. But this should be good. Like it should. I'm not saying it's going to be a
Mhm.
bad release or anything. I've yet to hear it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll have to be really sparkly for me to be into it. I'm definitely a studio guy for them.
Yeah, me too. And the thing with Adore is that was the first Pumpkins record that I really bought and I really got into. I was always familiar with their stuff before that, but I never really was a Pumpkins fan until Adore came out. Then I got into that record, and that's kind of opened up the door to the rest of the Pumpkins for me. And that's when I really dug into them and became the gigantic Pumpkins fan that I am today. And I always really enjoyed, yeah, like you're saying, the dark side of the Pumpkins, and that's something they definitely explored on the Adore records. There was a little bit more acoustic, there was a lot more electronic. Jimmy Chamberlain wasn't in the band at the time because he had been kicked out after Melancholy, so it was a different record for the Pumpkins. It's funny because back at the time. It was on the heels of Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, this huge double rock record, and they decided to do something completely different. And people weren't a huge fan of it, at least in the mainstream. Maybe some diehard Pumpkins fans as well. They weren't huge fans of it because it was so different. But in hindsight, we look at that record as being really great. Not only because it is actually great, but because it was Billy Corgan and it was James Iha and it was Darcy Retzky together making music. And I know people look at that era of the Pumpkins with rose-colored glasses, like that is the ultimate era of the Pumpkins, obviously with Jimmy in there as well. So people look on it a lot more fondly these days. But I liked it when it came out. It's got lots of great songs. It's got Ava Adore, Perfect is awesome. Daphne Descends is a really good song. Crestfallen, Pug, the list goes on. It's a great record.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Who plays drums on that record? Is it
Different people. I think
Kenny
Joey
Aronoff
Waronker
or
and Matt Cameron, I think, do some stuff on that
oh
record.
really? Wasn't
Yeah.
Kenny Aronoff in that for a while too?
He
Like
was. I don't know. He might have played
live
on a
drummer?
track on that, but he played live with them on that tour and the Machina tour. No, Jimmy came back from Machina. So yeah,
He's a
yeah,
machine, man.
yeah. So, but yeah, that was a great record. And yeah, Kenny Aronoff was in there. Yeah, different drummers. I think Matt Cameron was in there too. So
Cool. That's awesome. I
yeah,
didn't know that. I thought it was just the Kenny, but that's cool. That's awesome.
yeah, really cool. So that will be coming out very soon. The Pumpkins live at the Viper Room 1998. Let's get to our next opening act topic, and that is Weezer are planning 4 Seasons albums to come out in 2022. Rivers Cuomo was on Good Morning America of all places, promoting the Hella Mega Tour, which is great. They're back on the road with Green Day and Fall Out Boy, so we're really excited that bands are out there rocking the suburbs. Ben Folds isn't on there, but anyways, the Weezer, they're working on not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 new records based around the 4 seasons, and each album is going to explore a different musical style. So Rivers said dance rock is going to be on there. There's going to be Strokes-esque indie rock. There's going to be happy chill music and Elliott Smith-esque acoustic songs as well, which sounds cool to me. So all 4 of these albums, I think, are due out sometime in 2022. And it's already been an embarrassment of riches for Weezer in the last year or so because we got OK Human, we got Van Weezer. What are you thinking about this, Dave? Do you think they can continue this creative role that they're on?
Of course they can. Rivers can do anything. I don't. Yeah, Rivers has a formula, man. And since the Green album, it has just been like popping off pop rock songs like nobody's business. So yeah, it's probably going to be half decent. They're in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
They're right. I think he's figured out how to write all of those things. So I don't feel like this is a stretch for them at all.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Like, hell, I'm going to listen to all 4 seasons. So
Yeah, me too. Well, that's
I'm,
the thing. It's that they're going to be doing different things musically on each one.
yeah.
And if there's anything we've learned with Weezer is that they like to swing between genres. We in the course of 3 or 4 months this year, we had OK Human, which was this orchestral pop record that they recorded at Abbey Road, followed up by Van Weezer, which is this gigantic Weezer on steroids rock record. So we've had both sides of them. And then when you think back to the last couple of years, they've gone back to more Blue Album-esque Weezer songs. They've done more electronic stuff. They've done all sorts of different things. So I'm really excited to see how they balance those different genres on these 4 seasons records. And it's just cool because as a Weezer fan, I want as much Weezer music as possible. I love how they've been putting out so much stuff over the last couple of years. So this is going to be exciting. And think every season you'll have a new Weezer record to go along with the weather.
Yeah, well, they're definitely playing into the Spotify method, right? Like
Yeah.
so that's it's interesting. Yeah, like and they're just gonna have music like single after single after single in many different varieties. They're kind of
Yeah.
just keeping the algorithm. So
Yeah.
they're probably gonna get bigger. That's what's gonna happen.
For sure. Well, they're on the Hella Mega tour right now. I think too, because we're musicians, we're songwriters. It's hard not to envy the level of productivity that they get to, the amount of music that they're obviously this is their full-time job. So they have the time to do that, but it's incredible. And it's awesome to see how prolific they are. I would love, to be able to put out the amount of music that they do. It's not quite Guided by Voices level. Our good friend and bandmate John Daly loves Guided by Voices, and they put out 40 song albums every month or so, I think. So
they put out an album at the beginning of the show. That's how
right there. Robert Pollard just put out a record right now while we were talking.
The notification dropped down in the video.
Yeah, and a solo record and a side project. He also put that out.
2 of them.
2 of them. Yeah, totally. So looking forward to the season's records from Weezer. Let's get to the headliner topic on this week's Rock Squad podcast. And this is pretty cool. And that is Slash has signed to the new Gibson record label. Gibson Guitars have launched their own record label called, get this, Dave, Gibson Records. Yeah, it's crazy. They're going to be partnering with BMG, and they're going to be based out of Nashville. And the first artist to be signed to the label is none other than Mr. Slash. Also, his buddies Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Slash already has his own line of signature Gibson guitars, so it's obvious that he loves his Les Pauls and everything like that. So it's obvious that he would go with Gibson as his record label. But this means that the next Slash and the Conspirators album is going to come out on Gibson Records, so probably sometime in 2022. What do you think of this, Dave? As a Slash fan, but also as a fan of the music industry, what's your read on this?
Well, generally speaking, when manufacturers get into the record business, if you will, it doesn't last very long. There's been a few tries with like Roland and Yamaha, over the years, and it's like, oh, we're signed to Yamaha Records, and I don't know. It seems they seem to have a good bunch of capital at the beginning of the situation. But it's kind of like they throw it against the wall, and if it sticks, it sticks. Good for them, and if it doesn't, they move on. This is definitely a deal that Slash was probably thought out with management, because, like, he knows his value, and he knows how low the Gibson value is right now, because Gibson hasn't been doing well over the last couple of years. So I'm guessing this was like a business play on his part. Like, you need me more than I need you. Like, cut me in and let's sell some guitars. You know what I mean? And like, let's build it together. Like, I've been the face of it for so long, anyways. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. If it works, it works. The record business is a sketchy place. It's a scary hallway. Yeah, with monsters and demons. So
are there videos online of Gibson mass? I guess like trashing mass, like large amounts of guitars? that they don't sell
Yeah,
because they have
there
minor
was
defects?
a shitty, I think it was Korean made or Chinese made Firebird that was they made them wrong and then they were warped, so they weren't even good. Like you couldn't even like refurbish them to sell them. Like it
Okay.
wasn't like a screw was broken. It was like they were like neck through body guitars and everything was all twisted on them because they
Yeah.
did the wrong schematics. So yeah, they ended up throwing out like, and these guitars were like notorious. Like they sold them for a while,
Yeah.
and they were like notoriously like out of tune and like needed all this work. And then finally they like went back and they were like, somebody fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
Like this isn't good. So then they couldn't sell them, so they just like destroyed them all and buried them
Yeah.
like
Still sad.
ET from
Yeah, like those ET
ET
video games that they
adventure.
buried in the desert, which that was
Yeah,
an urban legend for a long time, and then it
yeah.
actually turned out to be true. And I watched the documentary when they went to go dig them all up. I thought that was incredible.
Hilarious.
I know the guitars had defects and they were lost causes and everything, but I still find it very sad anytime I see a guitar destroyed in that manner because it's just
Oh, it was
sad.
horrible. It was like bulldozers running over like thousands and thousands of
It's like
guitars. Like,
no, yeah, the
I would have
humanity.
fixed it. I would have fixed it. That's
Yeah. Just like we can
so
fix it. We can fix it. I swear. We can make it work. Just don't kill them.
it's tough when it's warped up like that. Like if it's just a bolt on neck, you can buy a new neck and put a neck on. But when it's all the way through and it's twisted up, then like it's a lot of work to
When shit's
put it
botched like
back.
that, you can't go back, man.
Yeah, they made so pretty much what's happening is they made shitty products for years and years and years. Got parts made in China and all over the world,
Yeah.
and told people they were made in the USA, even though they were assembled in the USA. And people caught on. Shit went south. Things were warped. It didn't last very long. People started returning guitars,
Yeah.
and they sucked for a period of time. So
Yeah.
hopefully, with Slash on their team full time, I'm sure he's cut in on the deal. They'll bring back the brand that we love so much.
Right. And we're big Slash fans. We love the Conspirators.
Of
We're
course,
big fans of Miles Kennedy, and they got
of course.
Todd Kearns on the bass there
Top
from Age of
gun.
Electric and Static and Stereo. That's where we remember him from. Before he was a
Yeah.
Conspirator, we remember him from Age of Electric, which was a great 90s Canadian rock band. Yeah, this is cool. Exciting for Slash. I'm looking forward to new music from these guys because I think Miles Kennedy is one of my favorite rock vocalists out there, and they have lots of
Oh
great
yeah.
songs. Well, we'll talk about it on the tracks of the week because I got a Slash song in my tracks of the week. But yeah, it could be just a ploy to sell more guitars, but that's okay. I want more people to buy guitars. I want more people to learn how to play guitar because I think that's a great thing to do in life. Even outside of us being musicians and doing all the things that we've done over the last 20 plus years as musicians, it's just picking up a guitar. I'm sure you would agree. It's just its own reward
Sure.
and its own thing. And outside of writing songs or being in a band,
Sure.
it's just a thing that makes you feel good. So if this sells more guitars, then go for it.
Go for it. Pick up a guitar, everybody.
Pick up a guitar today. All right, that is it for our headliner topic on this week's Rock Squad podcast. We're going to wrap things up. Before we do, let's get to our tracks of the week. Dave, for me, we got DG's Shadow Dancing from the new Foo Fighters Hail Satin DG's Bee Gees cover EP that came out for Record Store Day. This track featuring Taylor Hawkins on vocals, and he does such a great job on this track. So that's one of my tracks of the weekend. The other one is from Slash, is the song called Standing in the Sun. I forget which record that's from. It's not too far back, but yeah, it's a great song. Miles Kennedy's vocals on it are incredible. It's actually a song I really love to sing myself. I'm always, it's just like to sing along with Miles Kennedy is a lot of fun. He's always doing
He's
cool
amazing.
things. We've listened to what's the other one? Back from Cali, another great track that they do. But yeah, those are my tracks of the week. What do you got?
Cool. Well, I'm going to stick with the Slash train there, and I was actually just listening to Age of Electric, so I'm going to do Age of Electric Remote Control with bass player from Slash, Todd Kearns on lead vocals, a great Canadian band from the '90s. And I was in a super '90s mood this week. I've been off from work and stuff, so I'm going to throw the Cranberries,
All right.
Zombie. I just recently watched the Woodstock documentary, which I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
we're gonna talk about in detail on another episode. But they threw some footage in from '95 Woodstock or '94 Woodstock, and the Cranberries were in there, and that turned me on to a whole Cranberries kick. So yeah,
nice.
Cranberries, Zombies, Age of Electric, Remote Control, '90s music at its best.
Nice.
Hey, is that our show? Is that everything?
I think it is. I think that's it for this week's show. You can follow me at The Walking Nick on Twitter and Instagram. Where can the folks follow you, Dave?
You can follow me, Red Coast Records, on Instagram, Red Coast Records on Facebook, Red Coast Records on Twitter. We play in a band, foolsunion.com. Nope, .com.
Yep.
.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Fools Union. If you have Spotify or Apple Music, Fools Union, you can get all of our tunes, check us out, and buy merch and all that jazz. Nick, it was a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Pleasure
Rock
to see you
on.
too. Rock on, Dave. We'll see you next week.